2nd Nephi continues the story of Lehi and his family, including his wife Sariah and his sons, Laman, Lemuel, Sam, Nephi, and Jacob and Joseph, who had been born in the wilderness. 2nd Nephi records the family's experiences in the New World after they had crossed the ocean. The book starts with Lehi teaching his children. He started by reminding Laman and Lemuel about their rebellion at sea, and he encouraged them to turn a new page in their lives. Lehi also spoke about the New World. He and later Jacob taught that it would be a land of liberty for the people living there as long as they kept God's commandments. Lehi then taught about the need for opposition so that we could have choices.
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe, catch the tiger by the toe.
He said that we would be enticed with different options and that we would have the agency to choose. It would be hard at times, but worth it. Lehi also taught that Satan is the one who tempts us away from God's path. He does this because he wants us to be miserable like he is. Further, he taught that the devil started as an angel in heaven, but because he sought to destroy man's agency, he was cast out of heaven. As a fallen angel, Satan became the serpent who turned his attention to Adam and Eve. He tempted Adam and Eve to eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Eve, and then Adam, ate the fruit so that we could all live and have a shot at eternal joy. Satan had failed to ruin God's plan. With the knowledge they had after eating the fruit, Adam and Eve were ready to take the next step forward, and so they could not stay in the garden. Finally, Lehi prophesied that Joseph Smith would translate the Book of Mormon, and that the Book of Mormon would work together with the Bible to defeat false doctrine and establish peace. In the latter days, the Book of Mormon will bring people to a knowledge of God and his covenants. The Book of Mormon and the other things restored through the prophet Joseph Smith are working to help gather Israel. Soon after, Lehi passed away, and God warned Nephi to depart from Laman and Lemuel. So Nephi and all those who would go with them left, taking the Liahona, the brass plates, and the sword of Laban. After traveling many days, they found the land they would call home. In this new location, they built many buildings, planted crops, and were industrious and prosperous. At this point, they became known as Nephites, while those who stayed with Laman became known as Lamanites. Among other buildings, the Nephites constructed a temple. The temple was patterned after Solomon's temple in Jerusalem, including the holy place and the Holy of Holies. They also continued to observe the law of Moses. The rest of 2nd Nephi covers teachings from Jacob, the Old Testament prophet Isaiah, and Nephi himself. Nephi first records a lengthy sermon given by Jacob, and then quotes many chapters from Isaiah that would have come from the brass plates they had retrieved from Laban. Both Jacob's sermon and the Isaiah chapters cover three major themes. First, that Israel would suffer and be scattered when they did not follow God. Second, that in the end God would gather Israel and establish Zion in glory. And third, they speak about the Messiah and how a young child who would go on to perform the atonement would be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Finally, Nephi finished his part of the record by engraving the golden plates with several doctrines. Among other things, Nephi wrote that Jesus was baptized to fulfill all righteousness. And if Jesus needs to be baptized, the rest of us who are unholy surely do too. Nephi also taught that baptism is a gate and one of many steps we take on our path towards eternal life.